A man with a World War One explosive lodged in his booty sparks bomb scare and hospital evacuation. The case left doctors shell shocked. A French hospital was partially evacuated Saturday after a senior citizen arrived with a World War One artillery shell lodged in his rectum. The 88-year-old patient visited Hospital Saint-Muzy in Toulon to have the antique explosive removed, but instead sparked a bomb scare, French publication Var Matin reported. An emergency occurred from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. on Saturday evening that required the intervention of bomb disposal personnel, the evacuation of adult and pediatric emergencies, as well as the diversion of incoming emergencies, a hospital spokesperson stated. We had to manage the risk in a reactive framework, the rep added. When in doubt, we took all the precautions. And that is a huge shell. Oh, shell no. The World War One relic measured almost 8 inches long and more than 2 inches wide. Now, get this. Imagine an 88-year-old with something that is basically 8 inches and like half of your hand wide. Like, that is a big object. Bomb disposal experts at the scene determined there is little possibility the shell would explode inside the man. They reassured us by telling us that it was a collector's item from the First World War used by the French military, the hospital stated. Stunned doctors subsequently began the process of trying to remove the object, which measured almost 8 inches long and more than 2 inches wide, from the man's rectum. It's believed the pervy patient inserted the item up his booty for pleasure. Which, by the way, can you imagine being 88 years old and then you're just like sitting down at home and you see this massive shell casing and you're like, you know what? I got nothing better to do today. Let me just try to shove that right into me, right? Like, I don't know about you, but I think there's better options. Like, so an apple, a mango, or even a can of shaving foam, we are used to finding unusual objects inserted where they shouldn't be, one doctor declared. But a shell? Never. Medics were forced to take the elderly man into surgery, cutting open his abdomen in order to remove the relic. Oh my god. According to the hospital, he's now in good health and expected to make a full recovery from the surgery. Let's check out some of these comments because they're probably pretty insane. In the military, they call that fire in the hole. The image looks like a bottle, not an artillery shell. Nope, no, no, no. Probably a souvenir of a wild night bar hopping on fire islands. Okay, ba 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 ba. I'll be looking at everyone's love is love signs a bit differently now. People are into some strange stuff. Nothing goes in mine, things only come out. This is more common than one might think. During both world wars, a great number of French buried their heads in the sand while being bombed. Okay, okay, yeah. Could have been a real blast from the past. I both want to meet and never meet at the same time the person who shoved an entire can of shaving cream up themselves. You know, some of those training shells are made of Belleau wood. Sounds like he'd be a good candidate. Ba 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 ba. It had to take years of training to get that thing up there. Big gulp, brown bomber. What we used to call a tail gunner. I accidentally sat on it. Okay, so we're talking about a so called dirty bomb, giving new meaning to explosive diarrhea. Let's see. Okay, hey, it's a slow Saturday night. I'm lonely here. Think I'll insert the bomb I found up the Hersey Highway and get some similes. Oh, it's rusted. Oh no. That's a new way to get yourself off. Must have been trying to go out with a bang. This is a hard story to read, but a harder one to pass. The thing is like, how did he expect to get the thing back out? That's my question. Came close to really getting off. At least he wasn't dribbling. The Post couldn't print this story without a comment section. Let's see. Best one of these I heard was from an ER doc. He was working the late shift on a weekend, and in comes a patient who was walking funny. He recognized that look immediately as the patient described that he had sat on something. So Doc nods, not his first rodeo, has the patient get into the position, prepares, and inserts his proctoscope. The next instant, here comes the sun. The doc was temporarily blinded by the bright light shining through the proctoscope. Yep, dude stuck a flashlight up there and it was on. Speculation was that he wanted to prove to his buds that the sun did shine out his you know what. Different cultures celebrate Christmas in different ways. Who hasn't done this at least once in their life? There's a round in the chamber. Let's see. Any more? Let's see. Heard about a man who inserted one of the old glass Coca Cola bottles into himself, realized it wasn't a great idea, and walked 5 miles to the ER to have it removed. See, here's the thing, too, when you think about it, right? Did this 88-year-old literally just walk to the hospital with this 8-inch shell up inside him? That is so crazy. Not to mention, how much did this cost to actually like get it out of him too? These comments are so funny. Thanks for making my morning. Take care. Peace. Yeah, honestly, this comment section on this thing is pretty hilarious. That would have ripped him a new one. Now, that's what we call an explosive situation. Old guys know how to party. Feel free to give your thoughts on this. My thing is, like, what would cross in your mind to think that this, out of all things, is a good idea?